Alright, welcome back to the channel. This is Nargo Media and I'm bringing you another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns.
Soundstripe.
Yeah, I said it. We're going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns. So, here we go. The Cleveland Browns. So, as far as the Cleveland Browns, they have made a lot of adjustments this past offseason, which is good for their organization and which is good for them moving forward, because the Cleveland Browns haven't been relevant since probably before I was born. Like, I don't know, it's been a really long time. So but they got some, they've been making some moves, and I think that they deserve to be, acknowledged and recognized in high regard, that they making improvements and they made some changes and they getting a lot of media hype. And I want to just give my insight on how I feel about them as a team and how I feel about them as a organization, and some of their strengths and some of their weaknesses, and some things that may even possibly be what you can call, quote unquote, like maybe an X factor, as far as like who they have on their offense, who they have on their defense. I'm gonna give you a nice little breakdown of what their team looks like, and I may do this for a couple other teams, but as far as the Cleveland Browns, I want to do it for them because they have a really good team and they're in the same division as us. So I want to touch bases on them because not only are they a good team, but they're in the same division as us. And the Cleveland Browns, I want to say one of their biggest strengths is like their front office. I mean, the front office has done an excellent job of building up the offensive line, and the offensive line coach, Bill, I think his last name is Callahan, he's molded them into one of the league's best, with J.C. Treader, Bentonio, Taylor, Jack. They got some guys that, among some of the top graded, respected positions. They got left tackle Jedrick Wills Jr. He's a long player, but, he didn't really make the list. But he delivered an impressive performance in pass protection as a rookie, so they got some good help on offensive line. They beefed up their defense. They drafted well in the draft. I want to say like probably their weaknesses though are probably I would say their defensive coordinator. Joe Woods, he's got a basic defense for Cleveland. The Browns had a personnel, but with the additions of the secondary in the offseason, we don't know if they'll be able to gel together soon enough. If they could reduce the number of linebackers on the field at a time, because if you play somebody like the Ravens, the linebackers, they're going to be the biggest weakness because they're not going to be able to keep up. Our team's way too fast. Our receivers are fast. Our quarterback's fast. Our running backs are fast. And, even our number one tight end, which is Mark Andrews, he can run right past, a lot of the linebackers. So unless you're a big-time linebacker like a Brockers or, even like a Ray Lewis type back in the day, what's the guy's name from Tampa Bay? Levante David, yeah. Even somebody like him, But, they got... the Browns are able to make Baker Mayfield and this Odell Beckham connection work. I just think Baker Mayfield needs to make sure he doesn't force the ball, because I think this is gonna be one of the key things that keeps them in playoff contention and make sure that they continue to stay relevant. Because Jarvis Landry, he's going to be productive. He's going to make big plays. He's going to be able to get you those third down conversions. He is Mr. Reliable. He been doing his thing since he was in Miami, when he was with the Dolphins. So he can be depended on and relied upon. Unfortunately, hopefully that this Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham connection can happen, because Baker Mayfield can get caught up in the hype. He's a good quarterback. I'll give you that. He's a good quarterback. He's not great, but he's good. He's not, he's not gonna make anybody lose sleep at night, but he can be great. And then with Odell Beckham, with all his off-field drama, and then with his injuries, first it was his ankle, and then it's his ACL, and it's like he's just continued to be injured. And a great player like that, when he was with the Giants, man, he was doing his thing. He was handling business. He was always making big plays, and he just didn't have the complementary pieces he needed around him to be great. His quarterback sucked. They got a good running back, but then he ended up leaving when they got Saquon. They had him and Saquon were together for one season, and they did good together. They even had a couple of trick plays where things worked out great for them. But I mean, at the end of the day, they got to make this Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham connection work. Baker's passer rating is just like 72 when targeting Beckham over the last 2 seasons. And then that number jumps to like 89 when he targeted any other player. I mean, something's got to change. I don't know if it's the scheme, if it's the coaching, if it's the chemistry between Baker and Odell. I don't know. But with the elite talent at the wide receiver position, if he could just stay healthy, this OBJ and Mayfield connection could be great. And Kevin Stefanski's got to find a way to get these guys involved, get these guys working together, being on the same page. And if they can get together on the same page and make things happen, then I see this connection going a really long way. Some of the key players they have, on offense is obviously Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Rashad Higgins, Austin Hooper. Like, come on, man. Those are studs. They got some studs, And then with the defense, they got Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett. That's a no-brainer. Like, everybody knows about them, And then Jeremiah Awasu, the guy that they drafted, the rookie, And then they got Denzel Ward. They got Troy Hill, the cornerbacks. I mean, they got Ronnie Harrison. They got John Johnson III. I mean, these guys are good players, Can they go out there and make stuff happen, And I really feel like with the defense, it starts up front. It starts up front with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. They're the edge rushers, They're the ones that got to make stuff happen. And on the back end, you got to get Greg Newsome and Denzel Ward to do damage. Denzel Ward was injured. I don't remember if he had like a shoulder injury or a leg injury or whatever, but he was injured like last season, so he didn't get to do much, So their defense struggled. Hopefully they'll be able to pull it together. Hopefully they'll be able to make some stuff happen. And, I feel like it'll be like last year with the Browns and the Ravens back in the playoffs. I really don't know if Pittsburgh gonna be there this time. So I feel like it's a 2-horse race between the Browns and the Ravens when it comes to who's gonna win the AFC North. But it's gonna be a dogfight, literally, involving the dog pound, But I mean, I want to see them come out and be great. I feel like we're gonna split games. I feel like we're probably either gonna win our home game against them and they're gonna win theirs, or it's gonna be the other way around, where we're going to split and we win in Cleveland and then they win in Baltimore. It's going to be weird. I mean, AFC North, it goes down like that, where we'll win a home game against a really tough team, like Buffalo or somebody, or Tennessee, or maybe even the Chiefs this year. But then, we'll lose a home game that we're supposed to win, And obviously the Browns not going to be an easy out, but it'll be fun to see how it turns out whenever we play against them, because they're a really good team, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. I'm excited to see what Kevin Stefanski draws up. And I'm excited to see this be a different two-horse race, because it was always Pittsburgh on the AFC North. Pittsburgh owns the AFC North. Pittsburgh owns the AFC North. Now we finally get to see somebody else come in and challenge the AFC North other than just us, you know, because the Bengals, they still got a long way to go. They still got a lot of work to do. And, you know, Joe Burrow, he's got a lot of work to do. And I feel like the only two teams in the AFC North that are Super Bowl ready are the Ravens and the Browns, respectively. No disrespect toward the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they not ready. They only got like one guy returning from their offensive line from last season. They got a brand new rookie running back because they got rid of James Conner. And then you got almost a 40-year-old statue of a quarterback that can't do nothing, you know. So I don't really know who their receivers are, who they're gonna have at the receiving core. I really don't know what their defense is gonna look like, you know. They don't have that old school Pittsburgh defense they used to have when they had people like Troy Polamalu running out there, or even Ryan Clark, you know. Ryan Clark from ESPN, he used to play for them, you know. Like, they don't have those studs out there no more, you know. And I think they lost Bud Dupree, you know. So, I mean, I feel like it'll be a good season. I'm ready to see what happens. And, you know, I hope that this season ends up being one of the seasons to remember. And I'm looking forward to it. So, be sure to like, comment, subscribe on the video. Make sure that you share this video. Make sure that you try to come back and, you know, see some of my other videos, and just try to support the channel any ways you can. I'll be bringing you plenty of NFL news, Ravens content, things like that sorts. And yeah, so I'm gonna get up out of here, and y'all enjoy the rest of the time we're gonna have to wait until football season starts. Peace.